Hi everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day out there, or here. I was going to do some tarot readings today, but they haven't been very popular lately, and I thought, you know what? Maybe it's time to redirect things and to explain what I'm doing because I have kind of left you guys, and I guess you guys need an update. So, here we are. This is what I'm doing right now. This is what's going on, okay? The ways you can find my work are two ways now. My website, the Patreon account has taught me a lot. Still, I don't have enough time to train myself on how everything is located and how to separate articles and things like that. So the benefit of that's what I'm bringing this. The benefit of that is that if you are my Patreon, you're actually able to see much more of what I'm doing. I still don't know how to separate articles different from others, so my Reiki classes are not going in there. My Reiki classes are going in my website for my students. I thought that I should clarify that because maybe some people is confused. My Reiki classes go separately towards my students, and they will have a specific tab where they can download all their modules and the information that I put there for them. And so those won't go in my Patreon, at least until I learn how to do it there. But there is a lot of writings that I do, inspirations that I'm going to talk about next, that if you're a Patreon, you're allowed to see them all. You are allowed to see the extensions for the tarot cards anytime when I put them there. I feel like my Patreons have much more access to all the creativity that is in there in my Patreon. Don't get used to it, because as soon as I learn how to separate things, I will separate things. Fees will change, but I was just thinking, for those of you who want to take advantage of my ignorance on how to use new sites, being a Patreon will give you a lot of benefits at the moment, okay? Now, for those of you who don't have a Patreon account, I have a couple of students who told me, you know what, I don't really feel okay opening another social site or another thing, you see, another thing. So then I realized new ways, and so now I'm accepting Interact. So for those of you who want to either get your tarot cards through Interact, your Reiki classes through Interact, contact me and I will give you a personal page for you to have access to all your information. So then you will be alone there. Nobody will see your stuff, and you will have access to your tarot readings, to your Reiki classes, to anything that you are interested in. And it's only those things that you're interested in. So that may be different. The Patreons will have access to much more just because I haven't learned the whole thing. And I don't know when I'm going to have time to learn it. So could be 2 weeks, could be 3 months. But I'll be there at some point. What you will find is the Reiki sharing sessions and the guidance that came as inspired during the live Reiki session. So then you will have the printables to do the whole session with you. You can use the same video that we use for that live, or you can use the Reiki videos that I have created with the 3-minute bell with household noises and household environment, garden environment, things like that. Those don't have anyone talking, they don't have any music, they don't have anything attached to them other than just random noises you may enjoy. I will create more of those videos, and you will be able to see them. The Reiki articles are based on my own experience. The tarot readings that are out there in my YouTube channels are basically samples. Those of you who opt to get your weekly reading, then you will have a more personal and special reading, with even sage and a bell and things going on. I'll make it a little bit more special for the ones that are my Patreons and for those who decide to get them on a weekly basis through my website or to my Patreon account. The animal symbology and the numerology, and also any symbology that I feel inspired. In one of my latest readings for my Patreon, I got the ivy, and I just felt like I needed to do the symbology for that because I just had that need. So the symbology is not only for animals and numbers, but for anything that I feel calls my attention. And so that will go in my Patreon account and is attached to your readings too, so that you will be able to see your numerology, the numbers that come in the video, the animals, meaning for the animals that come to your video, and noises that come in your video, things like that. I'm so excited about all this. Spanish articles and homework. So I am basically just melting everything in one website because it's just time consuming to be posting here and posting there and promoting. And those of you who are trying to get your home business online probably know what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to do it all on one place. So it's either going to be my Patreon account, because Patreon I still want to see how far it goes. Spanish lessons will be Spanish lessons that come up after our Skype practice, for those of you who take Spanish practice with me through Skype. So the homework will be based on that conversation or questions about that conversation, even practice. When you decide to become a Patreon or a collaborator on my own website, then I'll give you all the things that you can access, that you can inquire about, and that you will get on your personal tab. Another thing is conversations with my garden. That is daily inspiration. Sometimes that doesn't mean I'm going to be writing it daily, but you will see, for instance, inspiration from last week that I just posted this week, but it's on a daily basis, conversations I have with my garden. Crazy, I know, but it's all about imagination. I have a couple of articles on wild plant research, and I am planning on keeping that too, keep it going, because I am very interested in nature, and nature is basically what gives me the inspiration that I get for everything I do is through nature. Now, there's a guided dictionary in the Patreon account that is the words that call my attention, the words that we use wrong, that maybe we think about them as one thing, but they actually mean something else. And maybe I have realized it, or maybe I just like the word, or maybe it's a new word that I learned, and so I put it in there, and that's why I call it Inspired Dictionary. Now, there is something very interesting that I'm writing about. I just posted a page there. It's called The Asylum, a fictional story that could be true. So it's about mental health, and it's about also things that are maybe crazy but not so crazy, and when you really look at the craziness, you don't know if you're the crazy one or the one who's not crazy. I told you guys in one of my Reiki videos before that once in a while I'm sent into this place to provide a lesson or to learn a lesson. So I hadn't gone out of my home for a long time until this time I went to. It was a place I decided to call the Asylum. It's not an asylum, but again, it's a fictional story. It's very interesting. It's very interesting because it ties things that has happened in my home, in the online, and in the place that I went visit. So connections here and there that are very, very strange, hard to explain, hard to understand, hard to believe. I don't know how far this story is going to go, but I have a feeling that it's going to be a very good story. So that's what I'm so excited about it is. MBTI. MBTI will always be there only if you're interested in those topics. And again, will be just Patreon and my website. I'm going to keep on doing some tarot samples for everyone, but they are not weekly. They're not on a weekly basis because there is no time for me to do it that way. So they're more titled. And so I have to apologize with Cancer because I tried to do it. I tried to push it, and then for Cancer, I put a date and I shouldn't have done that. So ignore the date. For everybody else, please know that the readings go by the format because it's a special spread. And so that spread has a title, and it starts working on the day you open the video and start looking at it. So that's how I intend the videos to work. If you guys have any questions in regards to everything that I do, or how to access all of this, just send me an email, reikisimo@gmail.com, or contact me through Facebook, through Instagram. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about, guys. I'm going to continue doing Reiki sharings, but I don't know if I'm going to do them live. I'm going to premiere them though, and I'm going to be with you guys as we watch them. However, if my YouTube get real subscribers, and I'm talking like 1,000 plus, then I will look into the possibility of doing live readings, live Reiki sharings too. So think about it, and we'll see. Last donation I did it towards Shaban Lutaya. So for those of you who do not know, the third part that goes into my Patreon account goes into a donation for someone I pick, or it could be an organization or an individual. Shaban has been working with children in Uganda for quite a while. I have been observing him for a couple of years, and I have done a couple of donations with this one. And so thank you so much for everyone that supported my work during 2019 and 2020. It is very, very nice for me to see that even with the challenges that we're going through, I was able to help, and that is thanks to you. So thank you so much for giving me that feeling, because it really does a lot for me to know that I can help others that need that help, and that quite appreciate it. So thank you so much, and I guess I had to mention that because that donation went through, and I will probably do my next donation. I think in July next year will be probably the next time that we do a donation. So for those of you who would like to become my Patreon and also suggest a person who could receive those donations, I am all ears. And yeah, thanks again, guys. I guess that's all for this video, my dear patrons, my dear Reiki students, followers, collaborators, everyone. Thank you so much for all your support and so much for all your love. And I'll see you next time with a new video, or you see me in my Patreon or my Reikisimo website. Kisses and hacks. Bye-bye.